Hi everyone, Nathan Hall here. We're taking a little break from our subject classes. We're doing something a little different. I talked to a lot of you, and a lot of you said you were interested in law enforcement, healthcare, and mechanical professions. My original plan was to do law enforcement and healthcare in one pod. Then I realized law enforcement was a big subject, and healthcare was also a really big one. So we're spacing it out. This pod, we're going to work with the basics of law enforcement. A lot of things we talk about you'll also see in your civics or social studies or history classes. And also, if you do pursue a career in this area, you'll know the words. And if not, well, police shows will still be more interesting to you because you'll understand more about what's going on. So live classes, we'll talk about these, and we'll talk about some things the police can't do. Because the police actually have to follow lots of laws themselves. If they don't, they get in trouble. So a big part of this too will be comparing, contrasting, vocabulary, and a big part too is working with the team. So we're going to start with some things that are not illegal. Like I said, police have to follow laws. If you get together in a group to say something, and if it's peaceful, no fighting, no one gets hurt, that's perfectly legal. Free speech. Well, you can say your opinion, you can say what you want, but you do have limits here too. You cannot say things that will make people fight you. You cannot say things that will make people hurt you or that will hurt people. A big example is you cannot run into a theater and yell, "Fire! Fuego!" if there is no fire, because then people would get hurt trying to get out and that would be your fault. You do not have that freedom. You can have the freedom to be any religion you want. Freedom of the press. You can publish whatever you want, again, within reason. If you publish lies about someone, you might get sued. And if something does go wrong, if people think you are a criminal and you did something bad, you have the right to a fair trial. You can prove you did not do something bad. You can prove it. So these are questions we'll go over in the live class here, and they'll be down below too, some of them. And what I'm really curious about is what would make a trial unfair. Here are some terms. I included them in both English and Spanish. A lot of times you see Spanish is similar. Vandalismo, burglary, robo, not going to worry so much about. Agresion, penalissimo, that's a neat one. Talk a little about the word illegal, not with the laws, illegal drugs. Las drogas ilegales. Arson, we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about. That's if you start a fire on purpose, provocado, like it says there. And shoplifting, not going to spend a lot of time on that either. But this is one we will talk about. El ataque, mugging, when you threaten someone or hurt them to take their money. And el asesinato, you see that a lot on your crime stories. Asesinato? Asesinatio. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry. So we'll look at the words commit, to do a crime, mugging, and there will be questions down below on these. And this is very important. There are some questions below on this, and this will show up in all your tests. If you ever watch a show, a police show, and they say, "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law." These are actually very important. These come straight from the Bill of Rights. All of these. They're so important. I don't do this often, but here I did. I translate them in Spanish. Just so you know, if a police officer reads your rights in Spanish badly, it doesn't count. It really doesn't. Police have to follow very strict rules. So that's why people who can speak Spanish, very valuable to the police now. And here are some terms. So arrest, a suspect, someone you think did it. See? You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to remain silent. So handcuffs, las esposas. When you're hired, you can get abogado, an attorney to help you. So the person who helps you is your abogado defensor. He'll defend you, defensor. See? Then from there, you appear in court. If they think you did it, you are el acusado or la acusada, the accused, the defendant. And el juez here. See, the judge is talking about bail. We'll talk about bail in a minute. This is the jury, el jurado. They decide whether what you did was wrong. Evidence, we'll talk more about in our next lesson. The proof you did something. So I guess I said this guy stole a TV. And did he? Yeah, see, that's him. He's stealing a TV. Wearing a mask. I think he did it. The prosecutors want to prove you did something bad. They work with the police. And if you're a policeman, you'll work with prosecutors. You'll give them your evidence. But you have to be sure you find the right guy. And the witnesses will say, el testigo, hey, he did it. So el fiscal will try to see that. And the bailiff just keeps you from running around. Court reporters don't even worry about. So from there, convict. You did something bad. You go to jail. The sentence, how long? In this case, he's released after 7 years. Jail, by the way, muy la cárcel, muy aburrido. That's what people say. The worst thing about jail is just so boring. So one thing too, bail. This is a reading activity. You'll have some questions about it. Is that from the time you're arrested for a crime to your court date, that can take months, even years. I'm not joking. You have to get a judge. They have to find a jury. So they go through about 50 people and pick the best 12. The attorneys have to build their case that you did it. That's what the prosecutor wants to prove. Your defense attorney wants to prove you did not. That's a long time. You don't spend months in jail if you're innocent. So you post what's called bail. You give them money, and then you get to go back to your family. You get to continue school, do your job, whatever. And then you come back for court and you get that money back. Well, if you decide to give them money and run away, you lose the money, and this guy, a bounty hunter, and the police will track you down. See, this guy, he takes the money you lost. That's why he wants to find you. So we'll talk about these in class. Important thing here, plea and court. They ask, how do you plead? Guilty? Yes, I did it. Not guilty. No, I did not. We'll talk about that in class, why you'd want each. Here's the vocabulary. They'll be on the quiz and next test. Like I said, don't worry about arson. And next week, we'll take a look at the investigation angle. Next pod, we'll get to healthcare. So you will have to find some main ideas. That's going to go with paragraph structure activity. And that's it for now. Any questions, come to the live class, see me in Cyber Cafe, or just let me know. Adios.